Hey guys, it's San and welcome back to the BulbaSquad. So today we're going to be talking about Mason's latest video and how I think it relates to essentially the theory I have on how Pokemon is going to handle the Evolving Skies situation and very soon the Celebration situation, because inevitably Celebration's going to be expensive. The video in question and in reference to will be Mason whenever it was the latest video, and I believe it was titled that the market is still driven by a FOMO hype-driven craze, essentially. So, first and foremost, Mason with Cardinal Gaming is right. For now. Remember, though, he is a card store. His approach is very different. He makes the money, the tendies, right now. This, and the now, is when he makes his money. Not in the future, right now. So keep that frame of reference in mind. That is why some of the statements he says are going to be wrong. So, first and foremost, if Pokemon is able to reprint without collapsing the market, I believe they will. Before we can get too deep into this, I need to provide my theory. My theory is that Pokemon has shifted the way they do reprints from the way they did it back in 2017 to the way they started doing it in 2020. Let me provide some history for you. Back in 2017, 2018, prices were all over the place. Roaring Skies came out, immediately shot up to $300. Sound familiar? Primal Clash was quite expensive. Evolutions was a little expensive. I believe that was a 140, 160 booster box. It started getting up there, higher than it should be. We also had Ancient Origins. I believe Breakpoint was another one. And so, Pokemon seeing all this money being thrown around, these prices that are very high, they decided, okay, we're going to reprint stuff. Well, they did. And this was, keep in mind, this was after they announced that they will no longer be printing it, which is why I do not take Pokemon at face value with their words, because they have lied in the past. So, did a reprint. So much product hit the market, they collapsed all of those sets. Like the prices just bottomed out. No card store could make money on the set. If you had purchased a ridiculous amount of this stuff, you were screwed. Just look at Rudy's old videos. Type in card store life and go back to, or no, just look at Rudy's Pokemon bathroom. The first video, not the one afterwards where he was talking about how much money it was worth. Right there, he could not sell anything. Anything. My theory is Pokemon remembers that. They remember, okay, we did this. We collapsed that secondary market, and then we couldn't move the product anymore. Because remember, once Pokemon gets that product to the distributors, Pokemon has no skin in the game. The distributors are the ones who have money tied up. Pokemon already cashed out. And same thing with the card store. When they're holding it, Pokemon ain't got no skin in the game. However, it was different with these sets. Look into what was in stock at the Pokemon Center last year. They still had Shining Legends. They still had Evolutions, which Evolutions, the warehouses at the Pokemon Center still had it in stock until March or April of 2020. I can't remember exactly. In that window, they still had it, which means they still had that product just eating away at that money that could have been better spent elsewhere. So they absolutely killed the hype back then because those products were moving. People were excited. And they single-handedly killed all the hype back then. Now, fast forward to 2020. 2020, craziness starts. Sun and Moon sets start to appreciate. Ultra Prism, I believe, capped out at $525. We had Unbroken Bonds at the time of reprint was around, I believe it was around 200 plus. Unified Minds, I believe, was at like $180. I'm not 100% sure on that one anymore. Sadly, PWCC market research is gone. And so here's what happened. These sets were up in price. They were still in rotation. Pokemon reprinted and the prices came down. But never to a point that they could not be sold anymore. That's the big caveat. So I believe, again, remember, this one is complete speculation because there's no way for me to know this at all. I think somewhere between the 90 to probably like 110, maybe higher or lower, I'm not sure, range is where they're okay with a product being. Like that's where they want the prices to be. And so they printed it, and Ultra Prism went from 525 all the way down to 150. That is extremely healthy. The reason I say that's healthy is card stores can still buy that product and the market will still gobble it up versus it being stuck there and no one wanting it. Unbroken Bonds came out 260. I think it bottomed out at 140. Immediately got eaten through. Unified Minds, exact same thing. Hidden Fates, every time they brought it out, they absolutely ate through it. Mind you, I gotta clean my glasses. So, back to what I was saying. On Hidden Fates, at that time, before Logan Paul, because remember, Logan Paul happened towards the tail end of 2020. Prior to that, Modern was perfectly fine. Sword and Shield Base, Darkness Ablaze, Rebel Clash, all of that was fine on the prices, except the Sun and Moon block. So, what that told me is Pokemon clearly had the printer capacity to do what they needed to do. They were printing stuff, getting it out there, getting their normal sets under control, and just printing them out nice. Everything was good. Yet, the question remains, why didn't they reprint, let's say, Ultra Prism, and just make a massive wave? I think they could have. Hidden Fates, they clearly kept hitting it over and over again, which means they had printer capacity somewhere. Why didn't they just hit it hard? Now, let's think on Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds. None of these were hit extremely hard by reprints. They all stayed at a healthy level. And so that brings me to my theory. I think Pokemon figured out how to do reprints right. It's not about putting out so much product out there that you just collapse the market and suddenly, A, you damage your brand because nobody wants to carry you. B, the card stores that support your game no longer want to carry you because you cost them a bunch of money. And C, you're going to get stuck with a bunch of the product. Because even though you put it out there, sooner or later, some of that product that you're trying to get to distributors isn't going to get there. They probably got stuck with it. Hence, the Pokemon Center having so much stock last year. Knowing this, I think they did figure it out. I think they figured out, let's do little reprints, put them out there, and not collapse the market. That way, we limit our risk because we have this this buffer. Let's say MSRP on the Hidden Fates ETB, $50. At the time, it was $250. That's a lot of leeway without collapsing the market and losing your liquidity. Exact same thing on the booster boxes. Ultra Prism, oh my god. But let's go to Unbroken Bonds. Let's say 144 is the MSRP, roughly where they want it. And it was up over 200. That's plenty of leeway. They did it, they didn't collapse it, and they got rid of it immediately. Let's go even more recent. Vivid Voltage, $300. Sound familiar? They did a reprint on it, but never to the point that it broke below $100. It hit 120. It didn't hit a very unhealthy level. Why is that? Do we all think they're dumb and don't know how to do a reprint? That maybe they didn't want to grab that extra money? No, I think they did it on purpose. Darkness Ablaze, exact same thing. We had a reprint. It didn't really damage the price. The market absorbed it immediately. Now, here's where I think they made their mistakes. I think there's only one, which is Battle Styles. The reason I only say Battle Styles is let's look at Champion's Path and Shining Fates. Yes, they bottomed out kind of hard. I think a Champion's Path ETB shipped at its lowest point was $50 or $60, which means after shipping and fees, you lost money. Straight up, you just lost money. That's not exactly bad. Like, would we say $60 shipped online is bad? Because a card store can still sell $50 pretty easily. Like, that's what people wanted. Then we look at the Shining Fates Elite Trainer box. Again, MSRP or a little bit above, that's pretty healthy. Battle Styles, on the other hand, I think they overestimated the demand. I think they were expecting much more demand because they saw how quickly Vivid Voltage, Shining Fates, and Champion's Path got gobbled up, so decided, we're introducing these new elements of cards, which we introduced with Vivid Voltage. We saw how fast that one and Shining Fates got gobbled up. We're going to print more Battle Styles to satisfy the demand, and they overshot the demand at the time. Knowing that, I think they just messed up there. Because then we look at Chilling Reign, the set directly after Battle Styles. Chilling Reign hasn't broken very low. Like, it really hasn't. We haven't seen prices that are as low as Battle Styles. I believe the cheapest case out there, which I don't remember who it was in the Discord. Allegedly it was $550, but I've been seeing Chilling Reign booster boxes pretty healthily around $100. That's healthy. And then Mason with Cardinal Gaming said that the next wave of Chilling Reign just up and disappeared. It was scheduled and it disappeared. What if, hear me out, this one's a little crazy, Pokemon saw what was happening on the market and decided we're not going to release all of it. Maybe they're holding on to it, maybe they canceled some of it. Because they didn't want to kill the momentum that they did in 2017. Because right now they have all the momentum. So that brings me back to the overall topic of this video. Evolving Skies and celebrations. Yes, Evolving Skies is very expensive. But we all know, I don't think the Pokemon Company is okay with $160, $170 booster boxes. Straight up, I don't think they're okay with that. They're probably going to reprint it. My theory is Pokemon will reprint any and all sets that are within rotation. You want to know rotation? Go onto the Pokemon Center website. They'll tell you right there. And or you can go to PTCG Radio because he also does a really good update on that yearly. And the other thing is sets will be in rotation for roughly 2, maybe 3 years, depending on how they fall within the timeline. Sometimes they'll be in strange places and get an extra year. So keep that in mind. Knowing all this, I expect they're going to keep reprinting Evolving Skies. But I changed my prediction. I used to think that we could see Evolving Skies at $90 shipped. But now with inflation, now with this new insight as to how Pokemon has been behaving recently in my little theory, hypothesis, I think $100 would be much healthier for it. I think around that range is where they would want to bring the prices down to. Celebrations, I have no clue. I'm guessing they're going to want to bring it down as close to MSRP as possible without having a repeat of what happened with Generations or Shining Legends, because both of those are super similar. Generations collapsed heavily. Shining Legends has the issue of it is a really small set, just like Celebrations, except Celebrations, it makes Shining Legends look like a massive set. So, knowing all this, I do think prices will come down. I do not know how far down the line, though. Maybe 6 to 12 months, but here's the thing. And now, those of you who made it this far, I'm talking directly to the people who are investing in this game and the people who are collecting in this game. In either case, waiting is your best bet. Why? Let's say you're a pure collector, right? You want to buy an Evolving Skies ETB. Like, this is a bad comparison because I don't think these will get reprinted much. Just because, why would you reprint this when you could do the booster box? More than likely, it'd be the Pokemon Center ETBs because that would just be better markups. But you get what I mean, okay? Off topic. So, let's say you want to buy this. This is I don't know what it is on the secondary market, a $60 ETB right now. Instead of looking at it as, oh, I'm going to collect it and I'm going to enjoy it so it doesn't matter what I spend, look at it like, that is 50% less product you are getting for your dollar. You hear me? So, $60. This retails at $40. The $20 over, that's 50% less packs you get to open to enjoy. And if you're parking money, that is a 50% higher opportunity cost. Patience is the name of the game. My theory, the reason I do all this, is trying to reduce that opportunity cost. And I guess you could almost wrap it up to time the market for when everything is cheapest. Whether you're a collector, you're an evil investor, or I guess that would just be it. If you're a flipper, good luck, because I don't time for when it's cheapest. You could just roll with Cardinal Gaming. He'll help you out there. So, that's it for my video. That's all the information I've got for you guys. Tell me, what do you guys think about this theory? Do you think I'm absolutely insane? Where did I get any of this information? Because quite frankly, I have no solid numbers. I have no solid evidence. I am just a crazy, broke college student who wastes his life and money on cardboard. So, tell me, what do you guys think of that topic? You think it was good? You think it was bad? Do you have a counter theory to it. And as always, thank you guys for watching the video. If you want to support us, $1 on Patreon, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.